What's good? What's good, homies? It's your man King Ray Ray up in the joint, doing what we do so swell, man. Got a little Murray in this pattern right here, man. Um, my bad on that. I may need to change this pattern, man. Look like it's gonna be an eyesore. Y'all give me a quick minute. Let me change this pattern, man. I'm gonna change this shirt, man. Y'all give me a quick minute. I need to change this one, man. It's kind of got a bunch of moray in this pattern, man. Let me go change it. Y'all give me a quick second. All right, homies, we back. This one should rock a little bit better. Appreciate everybody being in the joint, man. Turn a little light down right there, a little bit bright. So what's good, homies? I appreciate everybody being in the building, man. Got the homie Harlem World Breaker. Salute to you, GC in the building. King Abraham, what up? Markel, what up, homie? MPI in the building. Grinder, appreciate the super sticker. Let's give the people a couple of minutes to get in here, man. Kazan Clan, what up, Kazan? In the house. Bless up to the brethren and to my big hermano BOA. Salute to you, man. Bless up, mi amigo. Spiritual OG, what up, man? Let's give the people a few minutes to get up in here, man, before we go ahead and do their thing the way it need to be done, man. Just a few more minutes. We'll give them a couple of minutes to get in, man. Hope everybody been having a bang up week so far, man. This light keep turning right back up, man. It's almost like there's a light spirit behind it, man. Keep turning the light up. So anyway, homies, let's get ready to get into this thing, man. I appreciate everybody being in the joint. All right, let's get ready to do this, man. Got about 30 seconds, man. We're gonna give them 30 seconds, and we're gonna go ahead and make it happen, man. Got to do it. Great topic for the day, man. Great topic for the day. It ain't gonna be all fun and glory though. All right, homies. Appreciate everybody being in the building. Trying to adjust the title here, man. On the video I put up on the other channel, man. Y'all give me a quick second. Matter of fact, title and thumbnail. All right. So, homies, I appreciate everybody being in the building, man. See Western Wild World up in the joint, man. Kazan Clan, salute to you, brother. I appreciate the super chat, man. Let's go ahead and do this thing, man. Salute to all the brothers in the building. Philip, I see you. All right, man. Today's title is To Thine Own Self Be True, but Honor the Commandments. Now, if we were just to say to thine own self be true, that means whatever you want to do, whatever you think is good, whatever you think is right, go ahead and do it. But we're not going to do that because that means that you don't have to have any parameter or by which to gauge yourself or any barometer by which to judge your righteousness. But that's not how we live in the kingdom of Ray, because we understand the blessings that come with living a life that's pleasing to the Most High. We understand that. Therefore, when we say to thine own self be true, we have to add, we must add, it's our duty to add, but honor the commandments. See, because here's the thing, the stronger you become in your own environment, the better position you're in to put yourself in whatever position you want to be in, whatever spot you want to be in, whatever life you want to be in. There's a whole bunch of things that I could do right now. I'm in a situation where I could do pretty much anything I wanted to do, whether good or bad. There's no limit to the amount of evil I could do right now. If I wanted to, I could go to the hood and flood the streets if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I could put some girls up in the shake joint, man, or put them on one of these sites, man, and have them moving their wares. I could do a bunch of things right now. You understand what I'm saying? I can grab 10 bands out of my bank account and just go gamble it all the way at the casino. There's a bunch of things I could do right now. A bunch of things I could do. But before I cross that line, I have to remember to honor the commandments. See, a lot of times in this society, men come to a position of power and that power ruins them. You cannot allow the power of success, the power of prestige, the power of putting yourself in a position to win, to lead your own life, cause you to forget the commandment. Famo, salute. Now, what you have to understand is this. You have a choice to choose the life you want to live. We all have that choice. You can live the life you want to live. If you want a job, you can work a job until you retire. If you want to be a boss, you can be a boss until the day you decide to retire. You can choose the life you want to live from a young age. You can start plotting and planning right now to live the life that you want to live, whether you're young or old. Here's the thing about life. If you're 20, you could be where you want to be by 30. Or at least very well in the front seat or in the locomotive, tugging that train along, taking it down the track you want to take it down. But even if you're 40, you could be there by the time you're 50. Like, you can move in the direction you want to move in life. Because here's the thing you got to understand. Whatever life you choose, it's the life you deserve. And there is no sympathy for a man who chooses a life that he doesn't want to live. If you choose a life that you don't want to live, then you're a fool. And there is no sympathy for a fool. There is no understanding for a fool. There is no consideration of a fool. Whatever life you live, you have to deal with the consequences and repercussions of that life. If you lay down with dogs, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be scratching, homie. Not with your hand like this. You're going to have your foot up, kicking on your side like a dog. The company you keep will affect the levels you reach. That's why you have to make sure that you stay true to yourself so the people around you would genuinely acclimate to how you are and gravitate toward that true energy of who you are and what you represent. If you live the life that someone else wants you to live, it only works for that one person. You can be a wonderful employee at one job, go to another job, and they hate you. They hate your work ethic. They hate how long it takes you. They hate everything. One job can love that you're deliberate and make sure you don't make any mistakes. The other job may not care about making the mistakes because they got somebody to clean the mistakes up. They want you to be fast. They want production to increase. Perfect example. There's no better analogy I can give than that. You could be a wide receiver on one team, you go to the other team, they move you to safety. Plenty of guys play wide receiver in college, end up in the pros, they end up playing safety. Plenty of guys play quarterback in college, they end up being wide receiver in the pros. Why? Because when you get to whatever level you get to in life, the requirements are that you maintain who you are. Because if you go level 1, 2, 3, 4 as one person, you can't get to level 5 and change. You're not going to be as effective. You're not going to be as productive. Perfect example, Arkansas quarterback Matt Jones. I don't know if y'all remember him. Go way back. Is his name Matt Jones? I think his name was Matt Jones. But he went to the NFL, became a wide receiver. He was okay. It's pretty good. Decent. Had a decent length career. But he was never supposed to be a quarterback anyway. See, here's the thing. If you play quarterback in college, but you can't play quarterback in the pros, you wasn't supposed to be quarterback in college. Tim Tebow, perfect example. Boy was never supposed to be quarterback in college. They had better quarterbacks on the roster than him. They were just so stacked, he looked like he was great. He wasn't that great in college. That's the same thing in life. The sooner you gravitate to what you're supposed to be, you can start perfecting who you are. The longer you stay out of the realm of who you are truly, you're going to be working your butt off to be someone that you're never going to be fully. You're never going to reach your full potential being someone you're not supposed to be. Am I saying you can't elevate to any level? Yes, you can elevate a few levels up, but I'm talking about to the epitome of that particular life. You'll never make it to the top of it because it's not the life for you. You have to make sure that you protect the things that make who you are as a man. You understand? Your emotionality, your physicality, your spirituality. You have to protect those things because here's what you men have to understand. You are going to be and represent those people who you are attached to emotionally, physically, and spiritually. You're going to represent those people. If you're attached to scallywags, it's going to come out in you, man. It's going to show. If you're in love with a woman, man, who knows how to be a woman, who knows how to be feminine, who knows how to be all that, then you're going to shine as a masculine man. If you're in love with a woman, man, who wants to be in a position of power in a relationship and constantly drains you, then you're not going to be your best self as a man. You're going to be your worst self as a man. If you're in college for a degree that you don't even want and you go all the way through with that degree, when you're done with that degree, you're not going to even fight hard to get a job in that field because it's not something you want to do. So you're going to be one of those guys with a master's degree in biology that's a branch manager at the local bank. And I'm telling you things that I've seen before. I've seen these things. You have to start young being who you are supposed to be. And that's only one person. The true essence of who you are. People don't agree with everything I say, but what I say comes from who I am. And any man who can resonate with what I say is a similar man to who I am. We've traveled some of the same path, dealt with some of the same similar situations, view the world from a similar perspective. And that's your goal as a man, as early as you possibly can. That's why it's better for a young boy to have a father in his life, because his father will help him gravitate into that separation from the femininity of his mother so he can become the man he's supposed to be. You can't become the man you're supposed to be when you're smothered by the femininity of your mother, because your emotions are always going to get in the way. So when you build yourself up to be the best version of yourself, you got to remember, it's only the best version of you if it's the best man you can be based on the actual foundation of who you are as a man. Who you are as a man has to be based on the actual foundation of who you are. Your character, you can't get away from your character traits. You understand? You can't get away from the things that make up who you are. You can suppress them, but you're going to be miserable. You're going to be miserable if you suppress those things. And this is one of those things that young boys aren't taught if they don't have a father in their life, man. If your father's not in your life, you're not taught this. You don't know this. Coaches don't teach you this. A coach may teach you hard work ethic. Oh, that's great. That's a wonderful thing. But there are women who have that. That doesn't make you a man. Anything that a woman can do doesn't make you a man. Anything that women do, any character that women have, any character trait that women have, that's not a character trait that makes you a man. Like SG, like the homie SJ just said, separation from femininity is what makes you a man. And the same thing for a woman. Separation from masculinity is what makes you a woman. The less masculine you are, the more feminine you are, which means the more of a woman you are. The less feminine you are, the more masculine you are, which means the more of a man you are. Men and women are not supposed to be equally masculine and feminine. So when you build yourself up to the best version of you, but only if that self is the best man you can be from the foundation up. You can't start building your house, the house of who you are, the dwelling of who you are, the castle of who you are, the kingdom of who you are, halfway up. You got to build it from the foundation. I like to call it functional foundations. We have to have functional foundations. Foundations that we can build ourselves upon. Now, sometimes you got to break yourself all the way down back to the foundation. Many times you have to do that. If you've been living a life that's not based on the foundation of who you are, and you know if you have, because you're miserable. You can have everything and still be miserable. You can have money and you can have women. You can have all the things that people want. You can have the freedom to come and go as you please. You can be your own boss and you're still miserable. Why? Because all of that is just icing that you're putting on that rotten cake, that spoiled cake that you baked. That does not include any of the flavors that make up who you are as an individual man. And it's a sad thing to see, man. I know some of you men have seen it before, man. It's a sad thing to see, man. Adam Durden, appreciate the 5 bone, man. Adam said was glad to hear you yesterday on the BOA video. Said you back in Ray Ray mode. This channel is soul food for real. You grinding, brother. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate it. See, the reality of our lives is every day you got to do something to put one brick on the foundation of who you are as a man. That's why it's imperative that you learn who you are as a man. Here's the thing about it. Whatever particular nuances of that are going to be offensive to God, you have to deal with that with God. But your foundation is your foundation. What you have to do is apply the commandment. And the thing about the commandments is you ain't got to think a lot. They're words. If I say the life you choose, you know what that means. We ain't got to break down what that means. If I say this is a Panasonic G9 that I'm streaming on, you don't have to ask me, is it a Sony or a Canon? There's no more words that are needed. That's the same way the commandments are. They are spoken. Thou shalt not eat swine. That don't mean unless it's barbecue. Well, unless it's rotisserie, you can eat a pickled pig feet. It don't mean none of that. It means thou shalt not eat the swine. Thou shalt not commit adultery with another man's wife. That don't mean that unless he don't like her, unless she real pretty, unless he don't touch her no more. It says thou shalt not commit adultery with another man's wife. The commandment is simple. You don't have to complicate it. You don't have to, well, I wonder if this is that. No, they are words. They have meaning. You don't have to second guess them. They simple. People be getting all these reference books and all. I'm like, what are you getting a reference book for? It is simple. David slew Goliath. We know that don't mean he injured him. That don't mean he broke his leg. That don't mean he put him in the headlock and made him tap out. That don't mean they had an MMA fight and he punched him and made him and just knocked him out. That don't mean that. That don't mean that the fight had to be stopped in the 12th round. That means that he killed him. The word is simple. Apply the commandment. Apply the commandment. Apply. I say again, man. Apply the commandment. Honor the commandment. To thine own self be true, but apply the commandment. Honor the commandment as a matter of fact. See, what we have to understand is this. Your 5 senses are only meant for you to navigate the world with. Those you see, so you won't run into something. So you want to step on a snake. So you want to step out in traffic. So so you want to step on a piece of glass barefoot. So you won't run into a wall. So when you drive your car, you won't run through a red light and get yourself smashed. That's why you see to navigate the environment. You hear to navigate the environment. What if something happening and you can't tell? If you're not around and you don't see the gun, you don't know they shooting until you hear the shots. You understand what I'm saying? If you're about to step in something you shouldn't and somebody call your name, you hear so you can navigate this life. You smell so you can navigate this life. You need to know if something's wrong. You need to know if something's right. You need to know if you need to take a bath. You need to know if she need to take a bath. You need to know if your baby done boo-booed in his pamper. You need to know a bunch of things. You need to know if your dog is dead. You need to know if there's something else dead up under your house. You need to know these things. You need to know if something's burning. You need to know if you're burning that chicken that you put in the oven. You need to know these things. Your five senses are only to navigate this world, only to navigate this life. They're not meant to guide you. You still guide yourself with your spirit man, which then influences your mind to guide your body. Those five senses only help you navigate the path that your spirit and mind choose to send your body on. You have to be able to view things from your spiritual essence. Everything in the world is spiritual. Everything in the world is spirit energy. This is the realm you need to live in if you want to know who you are as a man, who you want to know who you are as a woman. If you want to know who you are, period, you have to live in that spirit realm, because otherwise you are being led and guided by things of the world. And all evil is of the world. All evil that men commit is of the world. All evil acts that men find themselves trapped in, addicted to, are of the world. You have to guide yourself with your spirit. When you think about simple things like never judge a book by its cover. When you never judge a book by its cover, what does that mean? It means that you take your time and connect on a spiritual level with someone. You never judge a person by what you see. You take your time and connect, because sometimes the people that you thought were on your level, or the people that you thought had your back just based on how they presented themselves, you find out they were your enemies. And the people who you looked at and thought that they couldn't serve no purpose in your life, and God couldn't have sent them to your life, you realize that those people come in righteousness. Never judge a man's righteousness by his wealth. Why? Because some of the most evil men in the world were wealthy. Some of the most evil men in the world are some of the wealthiest. Wealth doesn't mean you're righteous. Having a little money don't mean you good. You could be the scum of the earth and have money. If you have a bankable skill, you can make money. Judge a woman by her content of character. That way you don't find yourself trapped with a Jezebel. If you don't judge a woman by her content of character, you will be trapped with a beautiful Jezebel. I don't mean some of the time, all of the time. Content of character is what you gauge a woman by. It's what you must gauge a woman by. Listen to her tell her life story. If that woman tells you that her life has been filled with evil inclinations, what do you think you're going to get? The woman was not put here for you to lead. Every woman you meet is not put here for you to lead. Just because you like her don't mean you're meant to lead her. Too many men out here believing you can force an evil person to follow you. You can't. Evil people follow evil. If you're not going to lead them down the path of evil, they don't want to follow you. People make a decision to go down the path of evil. You and I today can make our decision to go down the path of evil. If that's what we want to do, we can make that decision. We don't have to, but we can. Chief, appreciate the dub. Peace, bro. The law, not vain, worthless. Deuteronomy 32:47. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life. And through this thing you shall prolong your days in the land, whether you go over Jordan to possess it. Top notch. Chief with the biblical assessment. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you. Biblical assessment always welcome. See, what you got to understand is the beauty of a woman is like a painting on the wall. It's beautiful, but it's just decoration. Her beauty is just decoration. So no matter how wonderful you think she looks, it's just decoration for her internal woman. Who is she internally? Crack the shell. See what's inside. And here's the main problem that you have in this society. Why you can't attach yourself to yourself. Do you understand how many men are attached to other people but can't attach themselves to themselves? You can't attach yourself to yourself. I want you to understand that you are with you every day and you are detached from yourself. You are unattached from yourself. You can't attach to you. You don't even know you. You present a figment of your imagination to the world. People don't feel you because you don't feel you. You can't present an energy force to people because you don't know your own energy. You don't embrace your own energy. You got a lot of men out here trying to be gangsters and they weak and I won't even say weak and they passive and they just want to get along with everybody. You got a lot of men out here who just want to who are gangster, but they forcing themselves to try to just get along with everybody. You can't suppress who you are. Some men were born soldiers, some men were born kings, some men were born simps. Not everybody is a king. Ain't no world full of kings. At no point in history can you go somewhere and everybody was a king. Everybody was a queen. That's another example of people being outside of the realm of who they are. Some people can't even understand what it means to be themselves. See, all negative energy is holding you back. And here's what I want you to understand. Anyone who brings negative energy to your life must be cut off. Don't get in your feelings and don't be like the normal person out here who has this emotional attachment to someone and say, well, man, that's my family. Well, that's my such and such. Well, that's this or that's that. I don't care who they are. You have to put yourself on such a high pedestal that anybody is expendable just because they bring you negative energy. Especially if you know all you perpetuate into the energy or everything that emanates from you is positive energy. If you send negative energy into the environment, you deserve it back. Embrace it. If you send nothing but positive energy into the environment, then whoever gives you negative energy is returning to you. They are recompensing your negative energy, your positive energy, whether with negative energy. They are saying, okay, you have given me positive energy. It is time for me to repay you. But I will not repay you in positive energy. I will pay you in negative energy. You have to cut those people off, man. You have to. All negative energy must be disassociated with. You must be done with people who bring you negative energy. See, it's not about correcting people who bring you negative energy. Anyone who brings you negative energy is not there to be corrected. They are there to be an impediment in your life. They're there to be detrimental to the process of your progress. They're there to be an obstacle and an attempt to be an insurmountable obstacle. And you can't afford that. You can't afford that in your life, man. See, you got to understand that if you are not in tune with yourself, it's because you're not listening to God talk to you. Because he wants you to be the best version of yourself. So he's giving you the information you need. You're just not listening. See, it's hard when you were raised and groomed to listen to people. It's hard to listen to a spirit connection when you're used to only listening to people that you can have a physical connection with. Physicality, overuse of the physical bonding will cause a man to become less spiritual. The more you lay down with women, the less spiritual you become. Literally, the more you interact and more you engage physically with women, the less spiritual you become. If you notice, when Moses had talked to God, he went in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. When the men were going off to war, they didn't go in with their women. They didn't go into their woman. They didn't do none of that. Why? Because you need that connection with God when you're going out into the world. That's why you got to stop giving of yourself to these women, man. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying be a monk, but I am saying if a woman is not worthy of being put in that queen position in your life, man, then you have no business laying down with that woman. I got to chop up on that on the BOA channel later up coming on, man. We're going to talk. We're going to go deep on the BOA channel. They're going to hurt some feelings. On the BOA channel, we hurt the feelings. On the King Ray Ray channel, we do the healing. C. Rob, appreciate the 5 bones, man. King Ray Ray and Alphafield, salute. Great content as always, my brother. Salute. Great manhood talk. Salute to you. C. Rob in the building. When they say things like follow your first mind mean listen to God. Go with your gut feeling. Listen to God. Follow your dreams. Listen to God. All of these things mean the same thing. Heed the words of the Most High. Heed the message of the Most High. Heed the energy of the Most High in your life if you want to be who you want to be. That's your job. That's your goal. That's your responsibility. That's your duty as a man. It's what you must do. See, here's the thing, man. You got to build the life that you want. And as long as you ain't intentionally stepping on no toes, if somebody stick their toes in the way, step on them. You ain't got time to stop. As long as you ain't intentionally a toe hunting out here to step on no toes, if somebody stick their toes on your path, stomp on them hard as you can so they'll move their feet out the way. They ain't putting their toes on your path. They're trying to trip you up on your path. Our job, our goal, our right, man, is to enjoy this life, man. You know, enjoy this life, man, and don't be sidetracked from enjoying this life based on how someone else feels about you enjoying this life. Enjoy this life because you can. Enjoy this life because you should. That's why you should enjoy this life. Got a little more in this one too, man. It ain't too bad though. It's better than the other one. Here's our problem in the society. We're so concerned with being liked by other people that we're afraid to be true to ourselves. We want people to like us. And so if you're in a room with 50 people and 39 of those people don't like who you are, you're more likely to change to appease to those 39 people as opposed to focusing on the 11 people who like who you are. We all have this need for popularity, this need for acceptance. Here's the thing. If one person accepts you for who you are, that's the one person who in your life. When it gets to 2 people, that's 2 people. Everyone. That's the way it has to be, man. Never desire being liked. Because desiring to be liked will cause you to forego yourself. You'll forsake yourself, man. You'll abandon yourself. You'll abandon your foundation and forsake your future. When you abandon your foundation, you, in effect, forsake your future. Because no matter what you do in life, if you're not doing it based on the foundation of who you are, you have a future, but it ain't yours. You're in somebody else's future, which will never be as good as the future that you're supposed to have for being who you are. Now, granted, there are some extenuating circumstances. I mean, your chances of embracing who you are a little bit tougher when you grow up in the ghetto. When you're in the hood, you got to play. You got to be in a certain mindset. You understand? You got to be in a certain position mentally and emotionally, and you got to be ready for certain things that you don't have to worry about in other sectors of the society. So I give a little sympathy to those who are in those situations. That your main goal is to get out of that situation first. That's your main goal. Get out of that situation. But as soon as you get out of that situation, whether your parents send you to another school or your mama send you out to a private school or you go live with your dad or your grandma, whenever you're out of that situation, you got to start embracing these concepts. And just understand this. When you think about God, just remember, God is merciful. But God can also be very wrathful when you provoke him with your foolishness, with your inability to embrace who you are, with your inability to embrace who you are supposed to be, with your inability to be true to thine own self and honor the commandments. We ain't gonna stay in here too long, man. You know, we like to keep the Ray Ray joint short enough for people to come through and listen to. Appreciate everybody being in the joint, man. It's been real, man. My home in Harlem World. Salute my brother. Famo, see you in the building, man. GC was in the building as well. I appreciate y'all brothers being in the joint. Appreciate all the super chats, man. Listen, BOA channel, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be talking about why asking women on dates is as beta as cold approaching. 10 reasons asking women out on dates is beta AF, just like cold approaching. Y'all be looking for that one. It's going to be good. We're going to take a deep dive on that one. I appreciate everybody being in the joint. Fear to none. Appreciate the 5 bones, brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody being in the joint, man. Y'all keep grinding. Enjoy the rest of this day, man, because tomorrow, man, we start the weekend, brothers. I appreciate y'all being in the joint. Y'all put God first and keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Peace.